Good morning, everybody, and this is day 2 of the daily devotional. For those who woke up today, awesome job. For those who are praying on their own, keep it up. Um, Something I wanted to share and God has placed in my heart for a long time, and I've never come around to actually doing it, is actually doing a devotional. But the name I came up with is called Food for the Soul. Yes, I'm a foodie, and it's good to know that we take in something that other than maybe some cereal in the morning, but something that feeds the soul, something that we can meditate throughout the day. So here it goes. This is the food for the soul for today. So, any great idea that you come up with, any great thing, or even like companies, whatever you want to put, but anything that has to do with lasting longer than a week or a day or two has to have some form of foundation that you come back to when you realize you're stuck in a bind or you're or great, you have to go back to that foundation of why you started, say, a business, why you started doing what you did. In this case, I want to give you the example of the group Music 101. The foundation of Music 101 was a verse I got placed in my heart that I wanted you guys to understand, that in order to be in this Music 101 class along with playing, there had to be sacrifices made. And in case you forgot about the verse, I'm going to go ahead and read it again to you. It says, "And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice." Remember, we talked about how it's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be something that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I probably don't want to do today. But it's a sacrifice and that you make by giving up your Netflix time, giving up your TV time, your Nintendo Switch, your, I don't know, your TikTok time, whatever it may be that you're sacrificing to replace it with putting that effort in, whether it's the keyboard, the piano, guitar, drums, whatever instrument you're playing, whether it's singing, vocalizing. It says, and it continues, says, let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. Okay. And it goes hand in hand even with this prayer thing that we started, is it acceptable? Thank you, Lord, for another day. Bless me, take care of me, watch me as I go today. Don't let me get into any issues or problems. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to start the day off. It says, this is truly the way to worship him. Not what I just did, but what I was talking to you guys before. Don't copy the behavior and customs of the world. Everybody tends to do it that way. I'm guilty, okay? But let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. That was the foundation that led us or to the whole Group 101. If you're ever stuck or ever in a bind where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to be part of this group anymore, that's the verse I would like for you guys to go to. And we read the chapter. The verse is the foundation of it, but the chapter, if you read it, related to each and every one of you. And I say that because we actually read it, and each and every one of you picked out a verse that spoke to you personally on a personal level. So if you want to go back and read it, go for it. And that's Romans chapter 12. Okay. But we started a new journey with this whole prayer thing. And the verses that support that one was Matthew 6:33, which is seek the kingdom of God first above all else, above your sleep, okay, and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. Yes, I added above sleep. Okay. And the second one goes hand in hand. In order for your prayer to get better, in order to understand what we're going to be declaring and saying, it says in Joshua 1:8, study this book of instruction continually, meditate in it day and night, so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. You're wondering why things are not going correct, why things are not coming out the way you want them to? Well, that's probably because you're not putting God first. Okay? So it's very important to understand that whenever we start something, we have to have some form of foundation, and that foundation is the rock, which is God. So when the troubles, the issues come, we hold on to what that foundation is, a solid ground, because the Bible teaches us that if we build our house in the sand and the winds come, it's just going to blow it away. It's just going to blow it away. Exactly what's going to happen. But when we put that foundation, whether it's this prayer, waking up, whether it's the group, and we set the foundation in God, not in the ideas that Claudia or Rowley or Kevin or Jeffrey have. The idea that what we're doing is a living sacrifice, it's seeking the kingdom of God first above all else, and it's meditating and thinking in the word of his day in and day out. There's no problem anymore at that point. The fight, the battle, the war has already been won for you. All we got to do is show up, and say, God, here I am. Let it be your will and not mine. Blessings to everybody today. I look forward to tomorrow for those who may log in to the prayer. And don't forget, let it be his will and not ours. This is a living sacrifice. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. But I love you guys. Blessings. Blessed.